In the blink of an eye, everything can change. On an ordinary morning, people might be drinking tea, working in the office, or spending happy moments with their children at home. But suddenly the ground begins to shake. Everything becomes chaotic. Buildings start to sway. Belongings fall to the floor. People run for their lives. And all these terrifying moments are recorded by silent witnesses, CCTV cameras. Today we will look at CCTV footage of some of the most horrific earthquakes in Earth's history. So, let's get started. On October 30th, 2020, just the day before Halloween, employees at an advertising agency office were working normally. Suddenly, the ground started shaking. A devastating earthquake of magnitude 6.6 to 7 began. The CCTV shows a girl frantically running to pick up her phone. The office lights were swaying violently. Tables and chairs were sliding across the floor. One employee crawled under a table, and at that very moment, a light fixture fell from the ceiling. Another woman was nearly injured by a printer. But the terror didn't end there. After this one earthquake, 1,400 more aftershocks followed, 43 of which were of magnitude 4. On April 22, 2019, passengers at Clark International Airport in the Philippines were waiting for their flights. Suddenly, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck. The entire terminal building began to shake. Passengers ran for safety, but many were trapped as debris began falling from the ceiling. The CCTV footage shows the entire airport turning into a scene of carnage. One man was nearly trapped in the security line. Light fixtures fell from the ceiling, almost injuring 2 women. On June 1st, 2022, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck Aegean Sea in Sichuan province, China. But what is seen here is truly worthy of praise. Seeing how the students of Lushan Middle School hid under their tables together shows how well trained they were beforehand. Surprisingly, the students hid under their table as soon as they heard the siren. This was because a warning message had been sent to 10 million people 9 seconds before the earthquake struck. What a brilliant use of technology. On September 5th, 2022, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake occurred in Luding County, Sichuan province, China. A couple was driving home at the time, and their dash cam recorded the entire event. On September 28, 2018, a terrifying 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck Sulawesi Island, Indonesia. But the real fear began when the tsunami waves started coming. First came a 5-foot wave, then suddenly a massive 18-foot wave engulfed the entire island. CCTV footage shows a group of people preparing for an event. When the earthquake suddenly started, everyone began running in all directions. Objects were falling from the ceiling. Panicked people were throwing themselves over tables. Floor tiles were breaking and popping up. Water started rushing in from all sides. The security camera near the port almost collapsed, and a giant crane overturned and crashed onto the road. On the coast, sea creatures were seen being washed over the seawalls. Tragically, this earthquake collapsed thousands of buildings, creating a humanitarian disaster. On April 25th, 2015, Nepal experienced a devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake, the worst natural disaster in the country's last 100 years. This earthquake didn't just destroy cities, it also caused a horrific avalanche on Mount Everest. CCTV in the city of Tripureshwar showed scooters, cars, and people moving normally on the streets. Suddenly, when the ground started shaking, everyone started running. Cars came to a halt. People gathered in the middle of the streets, as no one wanted to stand near tall buildings. Even after the earthquake stopped, no one moved because they knew aftershocks could follow. But this clip showed very little of the actual destruction. Across Nepal, 600,000 buildings were damaged or completely collapsed, and 9,000 people lost their lives. On August 14, 2021, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti. CCTV footage from a grocery store went viral on social media. The footage shows a woman shopping in the store. When the earthquake suddenly started, she and another woman ran out of the store. A few seconds later, everything on the shelves fell. The refrigerator was thrown from the wall. It seemed as if the entire shop was moving around on wheels. Again, the 2015 Nepal earthquake, but this time at a hotel swimming pool. The pool was not designed to withstand waves, but a terrifying wave was created during the earthquake. The CCTV camera started shaking. Water from the pool was splashing out from both sides. Each wave seemed to create an even larger one. Finally, when the earthquake stopped, the waves calmed down. Fortunately, no one was swimming in the pool that day. November 21st, 2025. Friday, 10:38 a.m. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, where more than 10 million people live. Since it was a weekly holiday, people were perhaps spending time with family, praying or resting. Suddenly, the whole country shook. An earthquake of magnitude 5.5 to 5.7 on the Richter scale, the deadliest earthquake in Bangladesh in the last 2 decades. The epicenter was Madhabdi Upazila of Narsingdi, only 27 kilometers from Dhaka. The earthquake lasted for 24 seconds, which felt like hours to many people. During this time, such terrifying scenes were caught on CCTV cameras. However, the even scarier part is that there is a risk of even larger earthquakes in this region because Bangladesh is located at the junction of the Indian, Eurasian, and Burmese tectonic plates. Between 1869 and 1930, only 5 major earthquakes above magnitude 7 occurred in this region. Experts say that without preparation, there could be even bigger disasters in the future. Osaka is the 3rd largest city in Japan. On June 18, 2018, a horrific 6.1 magnitude earthquake occurred. But the most surprising thing was that some cats in a cafe sensed the earthquake before it happened. The CCTV shows the cats feeling something and jumping off their beds. Then, when the earthquake started, all the cats ran in different directions. However, the ground became calm again as soon as the earthquake stopped. But how is this possible? According to the U.S. Geological Survey, earthquakes emit 2 types of waves, primary P waves and strong S waves. Animals can feel P waves, but humans cannot. That is why the cats sense them beforehand. November 30th, 2018, Friday, 8:30 a.m. A magnitude 7 earthquake north of Anchorage, the capital of Alaska. The surprising thing is that an earthquake of magnitude 7 or more occurs in Alaska every 1 to 2 years, so it wasn't unusual for everyone. However, this time was a bit more terrifying. The CCTV camera at Alaska Children's Academy Preschool, recorded the whole incident. The camera in the small classroom shook and things fell from it. Although staff later stated the cameras were hanging on hooks, which is why they shook so much. The greatest stroke of luck was that the school was always closed on Fridays. About 117 people were slightly injured, and the damage to the city amounted to $30 million.